Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Clinton and Joseph R. Biden. What do these two men have in common? Well, not much, if we're going to be very honest. Yes, they're both demon rats. One of the two men got elected president of the United States in 1992, and the other hasn't remembered anything going on in his life since that same 1992. But today, both men came out with statements demonstrating to a certain degree magnanimity. I love that word. Magnanimity. In the early hours of the morning, President Trump landed in Israel, where he was welcomed as a hero. Israelis rightfully recognized and appreciated that President Trump, unlike the members of the Israeli government, wanted to end the war. They filled the streets, cheered. Thank you, Trump! Thank you, Trump! After finishing a speech at the Israeli Knesset, he headed over to Egypt, where he signed the Trump peace plan for the Middle East and officially declared that the war
in Gaza is over. Humanitarian aid is now pouring in, including hundreds of truckloads of food, medical equipment, and other supplies.
And now, Bill Clinton, the former president of the United States, and Joe Biden, the former whatever he was of the United States, we'll just call him the former occupier of the White House. How does that sound? They released statements crediting Trump. Come on, man. I am deeply grateful and relieved that the day has come, man. For the last living 20 hostages who have been through unimaginable hell and are finally reunited with their families and loved ones, and for the civilians in Gaza who have experienced immeasurable loss and will finally get the chance to rebuild their lives. I know Joe Biden didn't write this. The road to this deal was not easy. My administration worked relentlessly to bring hostages home. Actually, no, that's not what happened. Get relief to Palestinian civilians? You didn't do that either. And end the war? No, just not true. I don't know why I'm disagreeing with the statement. Let me just read it. I commend President Trump and his team for their work to get a renewed ceasefire deal over the finish line. Now, with the backing of the United States and the world, the Middle East is on a path to peace that I hope endures, and a future for Israelis and Palestinians alike with equal measures of peace, dignity, and safety. That's a pretty decent statement from Joe Biden, but we know he didn't write that. Bill Clinton, on the other hand, he might have written this one. The horrors of the October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel and the conflict they reignited have resulted in unbearable human loss. It has been hard to watch and nearly impossible to rationalize. Yeah, like how does that attack go on for hours unanswered? BB, is there a part of you that might have wanted it to happen to fulfill your strategic aims? We don't know. The truth always comes out. I'm grateful that a ceasefire has taken hold, that the last 20 living hostages have been freed, and that desperately needed aid has begun to flow into Gaza. President Trump and his administration, Qatar, and other regional actors deserve great credit for keeping everyone engaged until the agreement was reached. Now, Israel and Hamas, with the support of the United States, the region, and the world, must try to turn this fragile moment into lasting peace that provides for the dignity and security of both Palestinians and Israelis. I believe that they can get there, but only if they do it together. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with their statements. It's good to see them, for once, lay down their political differences and give credit where credit is due. Whatever you make of Donald Trump, his disposition has always been towards peace through diplomacy, even with the situation in Iran. Trump pursued diplomacy, and they were close to making a deal. Then Bibi came out of nowhere and said, nah, not on my watch am I going to let the United States and the Iranians shake hands and make another nuclear deal when we could just blow up the talks, literally. Trump correctly understands that war benefits nobody, even the side winning. He wants to do business with everybody. He's a very simple guy to understand. I want the United States to be rich. And what this diplomatic victory does for the Trump administration is it legitimizes their foreign policy, not just domestically, but to the rest of the world. Since the Afghanistan withdrawal disaster that led to the Taliban now owning tens of billions of dollars of U.S. military equipment, and Russia going into Ukraine and Gaza and all these things, the U.S. effectively lost its global hegemony. We couldn't legitimately claim to be the leader of the world. We were entangled in all these conflicts while Domestically, the country suffered, but this Middle East peace deal is a checkmate. It looked like we were about to lose a lot of American power and credibility, and then, the last minute, we pulled out a card and said, "Look, man, I had this the whole time." It's awesome to see the Israeli hostages return, and also awesome to see the brutalities that took place in Gaza in the last few years end as well. Ultimately, lasting peace will only come if both sides embrace Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, because only He can bring true peace. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Goodbye.